Man, so I shot my review for Green Book right before this, and I said that the biggest issue with it is that it was very oversimplified. You want to talk about oversimplified? I need this movie to be more simplified for me. I'm John Hayeck, and welcome to my movie thoughts. Frontrunners. This movie stars Hugh Jackman as Gary Hart, a guy that ran for president in 1988, and a scandal that brought down his entire campaign. And this movie was really weird. It was directed by Jason Reitman, who you know from Juno and Up in the Air and this year's Tully and everything. And I think, and this movie's being like marketed all around town as like Hugh Jackman's gonna win his Oscar and everything. Hugh Jackman is fine in the movie, but like the movie's so muddled and messy that I don't know what to think about it walking out, if I'm being 100% honest. Because the movie is trying to be like 5 different things. It's a movie about the press bringing down Gary Hart's campaign. It's a movie about Gary Hart trying to save his campaign. It's a movie about Gary Hart trying to get his campaign started. It's a movie about Gary Hart trying to work with his family to make sure that they aren't embarrassed. And it's about Gary Hart's mistress and the role that she plays in this entire fiasco and everything. And I'm all for layers and subplots for that movie. These all feel like they get like equal time dedicated to them though, and you're like, wait a second, which one am I supposed to be focused on and which one's secondary important? Where's the A, B, C, D, and E story? I just see like 5 co-equal A movies. That doesn't make sense to me. I was lost. And not in like an interesting episodic way. Like I'm halfway through the Battle of Buster Scruggs right now. Having those divides would have been interesting. Seeing like a different way that this story was perceived by different characters. That would have been super neat. But it didn't execute like that at all. It just felt like it was cutting back and forth between a bunch of random stuff. And by the end of it, I was like, I was tired during this movie, and I felt more tired walking out of it, and I just couldn't get into it. Hugh Jackman, he's fine in the movie. I imagine he captured Gary Hart's essence decently enough. I thought that him and Vera Farmiga had decent chemistry together, but the characters that I loved were Bill Burr and the journalists. Honestly, like, I thought Spotlight when it came out, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was amazing or anything like that. It's grown on me over the years, so I like it more now than I did when I first saw it, but I could have really gone for, because like journalism movies in general for me, I think journalism movies can be very difficult to pull off, and I think there's only been 2 or 3 max that have done it amazingly. Zodiac being one of them. That was a great newspaper movie. This could have been a great newspaper movie if they focused on Bill Burr and his team of journalists. Because seeing their investigation, seeing their say, and basically seeing these flunkies wind up breaking the story that would lose Gary Hart the presidency, that's an amazing logline. I want to see a script for that now. But the fact that we keep going back to Gary Hart and everything, it was weird in how much it muddled messages too. Because the movie at one point, it's like Bill Burr and his team are trying to be like, yeah, like we gotta tell, we have a responsibility to tell the people what Hart's doing. But then Gary Hart, the lead character in the movie, comes in and says, no, the press is bad. And then you're like, okay, and then you're trying to, and then the movie makes you like root for him the rest of the way, and you're like, wait, but he said the press is bad, and I feel like that's a really weird message to be giving in 2018 when, you know, we're trying to emphasize why the press is good, and, you know, people in power maybe shouldn't be putting down the press, and the press has a responsibility to do their thing and everything, so why are we reflecting that in our movies? I thought it was a very weird message to be presenting, and thought it was not executed in the best way. But with that said, guys, Hugh Jackman was fine in the movie, Bill Burr's team and stuff was great in the movie. I do think, at the end of the day, this is not a movie you should go out and see. I think that, in terms of Oscar campaign, I mean, you know, this has been such a weird year. I said it in my last review. A Star is Born, First Man, and Green Book, I thought all of them were, like, middle-of-the-road type of movies. I don't think any of them should win Best Picture. It will be weird to see which one does wind up winning Best Picture. I still have to see Roma and a few other things, too. But this is the same thing. It's another Oscar bait type of movie that I feel like tried too hard to go for the Oscars and just wound up not being great in the process. But those are just my thoughts on The Frontrunner. Be sure to let me know all of yours in the comment section down below what you did think of this movie. You guys can go over to Twitter and follow me at John Hayeck. Follow me on this YouTube channel by subscribing. And go over to mymoviethoughts.com. You can find tons more posts from me there as well. Links to all 3 of those are in the description down below. You guys can also like the video, comment on the channel with some friends. I am John Hayeck. So thank you guys so much for watching.